the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
Welcome back to tdphinstalk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Y'all punch that like button on your way in the building. Let your friends and family members know about the channel. Thank you to all the mods who help us monitor the chat. Thank you to all the members of the channel who continue to show their love and support for what we're doing over here. Shout out to every Dolphin fan all around the world. Let's get into it. Obvious breaking news. We signed Zack Wilson at the quarterback position as our backup quarterback. I'm not happy about this at all. And I'm going to explain exactly why in its entirety. And, you know, I'm starting to feel like, you know, I like to have a lot of fun on here and joke and all that, but I've reached a point right now where this ain't no joking matter. This ain't no joking matter. So we did a rebuild. And within the rebuild, we're supposed to have thresholds of what we want to accomplish. And we've continued to fail at every corner in what we wanted to accomplish. We failed. We just keep failing, right? Obviously, because we haven't won a playoff game this year. Like if like, and here's what a lot of people don't talk about. We're supposed to be talking about a Super Bowl now. We're supposed to, at a minimum, be talking about an AFC championship, but we're still stuck on the level of winning a playoff game. When teams who have rebuilt and started over way quicker than us, like some teams do it in 1 year. Some teams do it in 1 year. And we know that we've had some major issues in the past, mainly at the backup quarterback position. If Tua Tagovailoa goes out for 4 games, can you find a quarterback who can at least win you 2 of those? Can you find a quarterback who can at least win you 2 of those 4 games? We've tried it with Skylar Thompson, doesn't work. Teddy Bridgewater, doesn't work. Tyler Huntley, doesn't work. So forth, so on. And yes, I know that Huntley won 2, but what was that, 2 out of 6? We need 500 from our backup quarterback. 2 out of 4, 3 out of 6, 4 out of 8. And you go get Zack Wilson, who as an NFL starter is 12-21, which means he wins roughly 1 out of every 3 games. 2 out of 6, just like Huntley. And to add insult to the injury of him being a 1 out of 3 quarterback, if we're going to be honest, go back to those 12 games Zack Wilson won. Final scores of 6-3, 12-9, 10-7 in some of them. Think about that. And you know what? I'm going to actually be fair, though. Zack Wilson might turn out to be the blessing in disguise. But we are not supposed to be in a state of experimenting with blessings in disguise. We can't afford to say, well, you never know, this could turn out. That's not where we are as a team. You were supposed to do that 2 and 3 years ago. Right now, you're supposed to check the box without optimism. You shouldn't need optimism. You're supposed to know. And Zack Wilson is not yeah, we got our guy. He's going to be a 2 or 4 guy. Now, I don't want to judge a quarterback coming from the Jets because the Jets ruin everybody. But you still don't know. And this is not the year to enter into this is not the year to see and find out. Gardner Minshew would have been a much better option. Oh my gosh. Minshew garbage. What does that make Zach Wilson? That's the point. And listen, I'm not saying Gardner Minshew was the answer, but it is a slight upgrade over Zach Wilson. It is a slight upgrade over Zach Wilson. Let me give you the win percentages. Boy. Oh. Sorry, y'all. Give me one moment. I'm doing the math for y'all. Zach Wilson has a 36.4% win rate. 1 out of 3, roughly. Gardner Minshew, 41%. And that's what I mean by a little bit better. And that 5-point difference, percentage difference matters for your backup. It matters. See, with Zach Wilson, you're going to get 2 out of 6. With Gardner Minshew, you get the 2 out of 5. And at least you got that chance in that 6th game. TD, I always thought that you have been too negative regarding this team. I'm starting to see it now. You know, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm actually glad you said that. It's the saddest thing to me. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't get in my feelings, but I hate it. I really do hate it, man. It's like when me doing this channel, see, I loved at first when I was all positive. Everybody loved me and everybody was happy with me. But I also was telling the truth because I was believing things blindly. I was excited. I was optimistic. I was just positive. And then whenever I started to realize, man, I'm just wrong. Well, if I'm wrong, the important thing is to be on the side of being right and give honest takes. And I didn't lie at first. I truly believed it, but I was wrong on a lot of things. Every time I was optimistic, I end up being wrong. And then whenever I realized I was wrong, it is my responsibility as a grown man to be right, to like get on the right side. But getting on the right side means you got to tell the truth of what you really see and what you're starting to realize. And as I started to do that, I mean, let's be honest, y'all see my reaction with a lot of people. I became one of the most hated Dolphin fans in the community. You know, I get the comment at least 5 times a day. This is why nobody in the community takes you serious. You're a clown. You're so negative. You don't know anything. You don't know what you're talking about. Just by being honest. And for you to write that comment, that's even more proof. You literally said, TD, I thought you used to be negative about everything, but I'm starting to see it. And all I had to hold on to for several years now is time will tell. I'm just being honest with y'all. Time will tell. And it turns out time has told so much, but you still take the damage along the way of people not liking you. Some people don't even know why they don't like me. Oh, I've been stopped listening to that clown. Why? I don't know. He's just a clown. I don't even remember. They don't even know. And 9 times out of 10, they got mad at a tape that I had. And I told them that they possibly weren't really thinking to not see it. And I end up being right, but they never double back and say, man, that guy TD was right, because they don't even remember why they stopped listening. I don't do this for clicks, being negative. Doing it for clicks suggests that I'm doing it for money. If I was doing it for money, I would come on here and lie to you every single day. Because I can make a lot of money doing what I do, telling you how great Tua is, defending him, defending this team, telling you why our new defensive tackle that we signed today is low-key a sleeper that could end up being an all-pro. I could tell you how Zach Wilson is just a result of the Jets, and then put up some of his combine tape and say, look at this cannon. Mike McDaniel is so great. Watch what he turned him into. But be careful not to make it seem like he's going to take Tua's job. Just make sure I always say he's going to be a great backup. I can make plenty of cash lying to you. Plenty. Oh, man, it'll change my family life. It will change my family's life. Because let's be honest, a lot of times we're just looking for hope for this team. I could sell you that. I could sell you that. But I choose not to. But it's a price you got to pay when you don't. Especially when you got haters telling people in the community, see, this is why you shouldn't listen to the clown. And in today's society, most people are followers. They don't even do their own research on subjects to try to determine what's more practical and what's not. That's the world we live in. Well, I'm going to tell you now that Zach Wilson, you never know. Mike McDaniel can work wonders and rejuvenate his career, and we could have a franchise quarterback or a really good backup. But what I'm here to tell you today is I'm disappointed, because this isn't the year to be taking a chance on a guy that you don't know about. Because if Tua goes down again and we play 5 games, or he plays 4 games and only wins 1, massive failure, because we're probably going to miss the playoffs again. If Tua's out 6 weeks and we only win 2, massive failure. We're probably going to miss the playoffs again. And don't tell me, yeah, but this is a good move. We got a good defense. Man, the Jets had a good defense when Zach Wilson was there. One of the better defenses in the league. Why do you think he won some games 9-6, 6-3, 10-7? Like, y'all need to go back to see some of them scores. Zach Wilson's team was led by the defense. The offense barely did anything all game. Now, I'm not going to fret that he didn't have any talent around him either, but let's not sit here and act like he's come on, man. And then we got to sit out here and listen to people lie and try to sell us on us There was one reporter that came out and said, don't sleep on the Zach Wilson to Miami deal. Word is in Denver, how he started to look. Don't be surprised if he don't make a statement in Miami. Well, if that was the case, then Denver would have betted on his upside for the same amount of money in Denver. But instead, they decided to go with Stidham. Stidham, $6 million a year. Matter of fact, Stidham got a better deal because he got 2 years, $12 million. A 2-year, $12 million. So yeah, I know Denver got Bo Nix, but as a backup, why wouldn't Denver have kept him if that was the case instead of Stidham? And here's the kicker. If the breaking news was Miami Dolphins signed Stidham, everybody would be losing it. What? What will we get Stidham? They chose Stidham over Zach Wilson. That's all you need to know. 1 + 1 = 2. So I don't like it, man, especially when we got a quarterback who's only been healthy 1 out of 5 seasons. 1 out of 5 seasons. And maybe Tua stays healthy all year. But man, we're going to bank on that. We're going to just trust that. This is terrible by Chris Greer. And then the report came out, we were pursuing heavily the 49ers linebacker. He just got swooped up by Denver. Greenlaw, he just got swooped up by Denver. Every free agent that we've been talking about or being mentioned in, nope. There ain't many safeties left. Linebackers. We don't even have a safety. Here's what I'm starting to think. Because this Tua restructure ain't happened yet. Right? And I think it's got to happen over the next day or two. But maybe Stephen Ross said, no, I'm not cutting him no more checks. He got hurt after I cut him a check. And this is what we were gambling on, him not getting hurt, but it didn't happen. You got to think of it from the mind of Stephen Ross. McDaniel had to go to Stephen Ross to convince him, come on, give him the extension. Stephen Ross eventually caved and said, okay, I'm going to give it to him. It's a gamble, but I'm going to give it to him because y'all asking. And now y'all coming back to me to ask to kick the can down the road and cut him another check to convert his base salary and a signing bonus so that you can have more cap space and use up more of my money, my cash money, signing bonuses come out of my pocket. Paid up front before the league divvy out the cash. That's what y'all asking me to do. And lock him in an extra year by doing so, or hitting us with dead cap down the road by doing so. Nah, leave his contract the way it is. Make it work. And if you can't, I'll find somebody who can. That might be what's going on in Miami, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's the smartest thing Stephen Ross could ever do. And maybe he's not doing that, but so far that could be something he's doing because they haven't gotten that 19 million they can get from Tua. Because it makes it harder to come off of him if you do restructures. Just like Tyreek. I think Tyreek would have been gone by now if they didn't restructure him last year because of all the stuff he did. But since they did restructure him, as soon as he acted out, they played coy. Okay, let's figure this out. Probably did have Wes Welker fired. I don't know. But they had to cater to him because you're not going to eat that dead cap for Tyreek and get nothing for it. And on top of it, Tua needs him. Like your whole, like somebody said, the draft, TD, and trades. Let me tell you why the Dolphins aren't in a good position to do any trades. At least not any good trades, because trading for a player is scary. When you trade for them, they're going to want the bag. You've already given up draft capital. Now they got you. So I don't see Dolphins being in no trades unless it's like some mediocre linebacker for $7 million and you're taking on the rest of their contract. But outside of that, anybody worth something, they ain't making no trades. Not no big time trades that's viable to get paid. GD, people not realizing Hill's salary next year is $51 million. They don't understand what restructures do. That's why. As you kick that can down the road, it balloons bigger and bigger and bigger until you say bye-bye, and then you eat massive dead cap for 2 years. And the guy not even on the team, hurting your salary cap for somebody who ain't even here. Newsflash, people, they're failing us. Newsflash, people, they're failing us right to our face. And I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but I'm telling y'all, man, open your eyes. This all goes back to the Flores situation. Stephen Ross had to make a decision. And he chose Greer over what Flores wanted to do. And that ain't discounting Flores being what many would call an a-hole. That ain't no denying that. But that's what it came down to. Greer or Flo. And they choose Greer, and they needed to bring a coach, a yes-man coach in who was going to play nice and be the good guy. Now everybody's saying they need to stop the good stuff and be more like, man, McDaniel don't have a accountability bone in his body. I don't want to hear nothing from you, Tyreek. I don't want to hear nothing from y'all players that like McDaniel. He's tough. I mean, it just, y'all don't see it. And I don't want to hear that. Y'all don't truly respect that man. You respect him from a standpoint of I got paid and he's my boss and I'm going to respect him. But true, genuine respect, man, come on. I don't see it. I don't see it. And I don't see it in him either to demand it. With the 13th pick in the NFL draft, Miami selects Malachi Starks. That would be a beautiful move, but here's the problem. See, I thought you was going to put in work in free agency right now. See, I thought you was going to put in work in free agency. Now I don't know if they go Malachi Starks. I don't know where they go, period. Here's what I will tell you. This team, I got more holes than everybody want to talk about. Literally 2 starting safeties we don't have. And I hear them today interested in bringing back Sierra Neal. That'll be a nice piece, but let's not forget he's a backup. That would be a nice backup piece, but let's not forget that's his role. And by the way, the $40 releasing everybody and cutting everybody. They cleaning house. Somebody said Miami Dolphins need Doge. You're right. You're right. But you got to understand how we got in this position of bad spending and having no money. Because they didn't stay the course. As soon as Mike McDaniel came in, you know what they weren't willing to do? They weren't willing to continue to build in the draft, pay their own players. Because let me show y'all something. This is what nobody talks about. When Mike McDaniel came, we were supposed to have enough money to pay Robert Hunt, Christian Wilkins, Brandon Jones, and even Javon Holland today. But what did they do instead of following the course that we set out? Remember, that was the path. The path was win through the draft and pay your guys and keep building through the draft. That was the goal. But as soon as McDaniel came, the one thing they couldn't afford was to keep building because they needed to show immediate success because of all the attention with the Flores. They needed to exceed what they had done with Flores, which you can argue they really didn't. And if they did, barely. Barely. So what did they do with all the money for the young guys in trying to keep drafting? What did they do instead? They went and start buying talent instead of bringing it in and developing it on a cheaper price. They went and got Tyreek. They went and used the draft pick that was supposed to be another young player for Jalen Ramsey. They went and used even more draft capital for a good young stud in the first round for Bradley Chubb. You see where we're going with this? That's where we got off track. Paying the big name free agents and trading for the big name players. Ramsey, Tyreek. Not only do you use draft capital for a young player, but you also break the bank. And look what it's amounted to. One more win and still no playoff win. One more win and still no playoff win. When you got Brian Flores going 10-7 with no talent, we load up on talent and we're like, oh, this is better because we go 11-6. That's where we fell off the track. That's when we fell off the track. Soon as McDaniel came in, they needed to show the Chris Grier way is the better way than the Flores way. And we're going to prove it to you, Stephen Ross. We're going to prove it to you. Austin, you got to get over the fact that Brian Flores didn't tank. You got to get over that fact. I can see if he screwed up by doing something that was, by not doing something that was right, but you are holding it against him because he didn't do something that was wrong. Twice, by the way. He didn't go on that yacht with for Brady, and he didn't intentionally lose games for Burrow. If you're upset, I get it, but you got to let that go. You're getting mad at a guy for not doing what was wrong, because if they would have gotten caught, guess who would have been the biggest villain? Him. And we fought him because he wanted to try to build and do it the right way. That's what's going on in Miami. And not only do we stop there, we double and triple down every year on these same players that we went off the rails with, trying to figure out a way to make it work with them. Trying our best to figure out a way to make it work. Somebody said we signed a guard. Oh, Lord, let me look this up. Did we? Give me a second. I don't see it anywhere. Hold on. Y'all give me a second. Please, Chris Greer, I hope you really did. And I hope it's a good one. Lord, please. Okay, here. Okay, Miami Dolphins signed a 3-year, $24 million deal with James Daniels from Pittsburgh? No, let me. Is it James Daniels from Pittsburgh? Is it the Steelers guard? Or is it a different one? No, it can't be James Daniels. No, it can't be him. JV, you funny, right? We have a Super Bowl, baby. Wait, no. Listen, man, this is huge. Like, oh my God, let me make sure this ain't no fake account. No, that's Ian Rappaport. Wow. This is massive. This is one of the better guards in the NFL, y'all. And only $8 million a year? Hold on. Let me look some stuff up. Let me look some stuff up real quick. Y'all give me a second. Let me look some stuff up. Just please pass the injury test. Just please pass the injury test here. All right, let me see. God dog it. I knew it had to be a catch. Gosh, I knew it had to be a K, but hey, oh my gosh, see, really trying to suck you in, man. All right, let me explain this to y'all. First of all, he's a good guard. He's a really good guard. Okay. He's had a solid career for many years. I know that back in 2023, he wasn't good at all. That was his worst year. That's what kind of brought him into bad graces. But then last year, he started out, from my understanding, very well. But then he got hurt. He only played 4 games last year, week 1, 2, 3, 4, and he missed the whole season. Tore his Achilles is what I'm seeing now. So we got a guard fresh off of an Achilles. When healthy, it's a win. When healthy, this is a win. But fresh off of an Achilles. Fresh off of an Achilles. He's been one of those solid guys in the NFL. So, you know how I always talk about 7 and 8s? He's like a perennial 7, not an 8. He's a perennial 7, but solid. Like Robert Hunt was a perennial 8 to me. He's not even close to Robert Hunt, but he's a solid player. If he's not hurt, you feel good about him at his position. He's only had one real down year, and that was 2023. I'm looking at the PFF now just to verify, and yeah, everything I'm saying is pretty much accurate. 2023 was his fall-off year. It was also his 6th season. He started last year playing very well, but then in week 4, he got hurt in the game at the beginning, literally the beginning of the game. He got hurt, and that was it. No, I'm not saying another Armstead because this guy played like 3 years in a row. He played the full season for the most part. 23, 22, and 21, the full season. Now, 2020, he got hurt. And in 2024, he got hurt. 4-year difference. So I'm not looking at that as being injury prone. This is a good, solid guard at the $8 million. But once again, y'all, now I'm going to be honest with you. I like the pickup. The only problem with it is that it fits our DNA of paying for players fresh off of injury, betting on players fresh off of injury. So here's what this tells me. This year, we're right back to the same formula. Bargain shopping for players fresh off of injury. Now, here's one of my issues as I think about it. Y'all said it's an Achilles injury. Then I need more details because I don't even think he's going to start the season. If it's an Achilles. So I know in the coming days or weeks we'll get updates. But if it's an Achilles, he's not going to start the season. Maybe I'm wrong here. Let me look it up. What's the timeline for an Achilles, y'all? Doesn't what you call it on our D line? Didn't he have an Achilles? Which one had the Achilles on the D line? Or was it both of them? Y'all let me know in the chat. Chargers got Najee Harris. Phillips, what about Chubb? What did Chubb have? Week 4, he's expected to be ready for football activity in December. No. You're wrong. He ain't expected to be ready for no football activity in December. They got to be capped. They ain't finna sign nobody who ready for football activity in no December. Y'all better tell me that's cap, whoever wrote that in the chat. Per Berry. Oh, ready for football activity in May or June. Super Bowl and came back in December. Oh, okay. You were talking about Greenlaw or something. Okay. So football activity in May or June. I don't know what that means. 9 to 11 months. So sometime right at the beginning of the season. But again, that's scary. You got a player coming fresh off an Achilles. And then what version of him are you going to get post Achilles? What version are you going to get? So I'm going to glorify the move. I'm going to look at it in a positive way because it is a guard that's better than Eichenberg by far. It's just a matter of when is he going to get on the field and can he stay healthy? But your blueprint has been exposed, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have no money, so we got to go after all the players fresh off of injury, looking at injury. That's why we ain't signing many players fast. We calling players saying, hey, can you send your physical? Can you send your medicals? Can you send your medicals? Can you send your medicals? Ooh, his medicals look better than his. You know, he coming back in September, him in October. You know, that's what's happening right now. So that's what our team is going to be made of. This is what our team going to be made of. I don't love the move. I love it if I knew he could stay healthy. But I like the move. It helps the O-line, at least. So the right guard position is solidified. OGTD. So Greer signed James Daniels and right tackle Larry Boram. Who is Larry Boram? Is that another signing by Miami, y'all? Larry Boram? Y'all let me know in the chat. Oh yeah, Larry Boram. Let's look him up because I don't know who that is. All right, Chicago tackle, and they revamping that whole line because they bad. Oh, Larry Boram, get him out of here. Yeah, I can tell you now. First of all, he is a solidified backup. He has to make the team. I got to look at the contract, but he got to make the team. He done been in the league for 4 years and ain't had a good season yet. 4 years. He's a 5th round pick. Didn't work out in Chicago. He didn't even play much. He was like a backup. And he's a swing tackle playing left and right tackle. He played left and right tackle for Chicago. The backup that can rotate on either side. And I'm going to be honest with you. When you look at his numbers, there's no strength anywhere. There's no strength anywhere. It's not like, oh, he's a good pass blocker or a run blocker. There ain't no strength anywhere on here. He's a body they're bringing in to compete for a position as a backup. So there you have that. You have that 4-year guy. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. You want a better backup than this. You want a better backup than this. He's not old. At least I don't think he is. I mean, he only been in the league for 4 years. And last year it shows he only played 7 games because the starter must have got hurt. So he played 7 games. And wasn't good in any. Well, he was good in the last week versus Green Bay. That was the only good game he had. Yeah, division game. Yeah, I saw Najee Harris to the Chargers. Yeah. He might be a scheme fit. Might be. Wherever he was in, he wasn't. Let me tell y'all what it be sometimes. Sometimes it's like, this is what it is sometimes. So say 4 years ago, Miami saw Larry Boram and was like, I like him. I'm going to see if I can get him in the 5th round. And bam, Chicago got him in the 5th before us. Like, oh, they got who I was going to try to target in the 5th. Then years later, I remember him. You know, I liked him. I wanted him. Chicago got him. Let's bring him in, see if we can do something. I love whenever we, scouted him. I love what we saw. That's what it is. That's what it be sometimes. A lot of times, that's what it ends up being. GMs remember the players that they wanted to get in later rounds. And when another team take them, they remember them and say, hey, I want to bring him in and work with him because he's somebody that I actually scouted, but I missed out on him. That's what it ends up sometimes. Yeah, he a big guy, 333, 6'5", 333. So let's see what they can do, man. See if they can turn them into something, because the problem we have in Miami, we ain't had a O-line coach to turn an O-lineman into anything yet. So Larry Boram, okay. James Daniels, they brought him in to be the guy at the right tackle position. So, hey, man, we got our right tackle solidified, though, as long as he can stay healthy. So Austin Jackson, James Daniels, Aaron Brewer, Armstead maybe on the left tackle. So left guard is something that they need to figure out. James Daniels was balling pre-injury. Yeah, but it was 3 games. But I know James Daniels. He's like a solid guy. He's like a 7 out of 10 guy. And that's what you're going to get. So I'm good with that. I like that. I actually like it. I love it. Oh man, maybe. I love DK. All right, make sure that ain't another move, is it? No. Well, I thought we had made another one. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I will say I do like this move by Greer on the James Daniels move, because I mean, there's other guys I would have loved for him to have gotten without injury concerns, but we don't have the money for it. So I'm not mad at the bargain shop here, because our reality is this is what we're going to do, is bargain shop. Bet on players to come back and play well from their injury. That's why I think that now that they might actually do pursue Bosa. They may actually pursue Bosa now. So, yeah, we'll see. We're bargain shopping because of bad spending. Yeah, but yeah, this is our situation. This is our situation. We're going to bet on some veterans who got hurt that'll be ready for the season and hope they can go back to form. But let me say this about James Daniels. What I love the most about the deal is the fact that he's 27 years old. So he's still young. It's not like he's 30 coming fresh off of an injury. That would have been a failure. This at least is a guy who Well, let me say this. When you look at the deal, 3 year, 24 million, I think. Let me make sure. Because I didn't see what the guarantees are. Let me see here. Okay, 3 year, 24 million. I don't see the guarantees though. I would like to see the guarantees. Because it's still, in my opinion, probably going to be on a prove it basis based off the guarantees. We'll see what it ends up being. What are y'all talking about? We signed a guard coming off of ACL tear. I mean, we just signed another one? Oh, Lord. They showing Larry Boram highlights of him just getting demolished. Yeah, I'm not seeing a third lineman that we signed unless y'all talking about James Daniels, who's coming off of an Achilles. He's coming off of an Achilles. So, yeah. Pats want to trade Joe Milton to the right situation. Nobody's going to believe in him if you didn't bring and let him be the backup to begin with. So, anyway, y'all, listen, man, it's been a long day. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, man. We're bargain shopping. This is last year reincarnated, y'all. We were repeating last year. That's all that's happening. We're going to make the best value moves that we can get. Okay? We're going to make the best value moves we can get. So we're bargain shopping. As long as he can stay healthy, this is a great move, though, in James Daniels. So stay tuned, all right? Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. Let me read these super chats real quick. TD, no expectations for this year. If we win, that's great. If we miss the playoffs, everyone goes and we can purge the roster like 2019 and tank 2026 season for Arch. Either way, we have options ahead. Yeah, I agree. Member for 31 months. Thanks, Southside BK. And Marcus Hunter as well. No, they're just jealous because you are right. Yeah, I know. They hate us, CD. Start the boycott. I'll be there. The funny part about this is that Miami fans are about to realize Tua equals Zack. I'm not saying that's good. First and second read throwers, otherwise helpless. I'm low-key blaming Flores. If he would have kept tanking, we would have had Joe Burrow. I hate it here. Man, you got to get over that, man. Lowski in heaven. First white, then Boyle, now child. Yeah, I know Lowski loving this. James Daniels is just Armstead in guard form. I hope the play is worth the injury concerns. I hope so. Anyway, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. I'm out of here. I'm going to give me some rest tonight. I will see y'all later. Peace. I'm out, y'all.